Hello, hello! Welcome back to VBS Event Summaries. Today, I have Same Dreams, Same Colors for you, which is Toya's second focus event. It ran on the JP server from December 20th through the 29th, 2021. The commission song for this event is Mirai. Mirai translates to future in Japanese, but I guess they wanted to be quirky and different when translating the song into the English version of the game, since katakana is used on the album cover. I don't know much about this event other than assuming it's a VBS camping trip. Based on the cards, that is. I've had the Toya card for a while, so I'm mostly curious to see why he's so excited over cutting a pepper in half. Shall we find out? Our Toya time begins with the usual, practice in the sekai. You know, Night Court always started out on, Night Court, and VBS always seems to start out their events during some sort of daily practice. They're just talking about some event planning and hearing stories about Kohane's training with Taiga when Luca suddenly appears out of nowhere. Wow, it's only the second rotation and we already have a full cast of Vocaloids? You know, I thought they'd have a more important reason to show up in the Sekai like the Night Court Vocaloids did. Kaito only showed up after Mafuyu started feeling intense anger. Maybe I should stop comparing everything to Night Court. They keep saying that this is a reunion. Have I missed something? No, it doesn't look like it. I guess it's another one of those smile and nod and pretend we know what's going on situations. They sing, Toya comments on how unrestrained Luca's voice sounds, and the Vivids ask Luca to join them on their discussion of which songs to add to their event sets. VBS doesn't actually end up needing Luca's help to decide anything, picking the song On suggested as their next target. Okay, this next part is a little bit confusing, but it all boils down to this. Toya thinks one of his lines in the song might be a bit tricky. Kohane suggests making the pitch a little clearer, and compares the feeling to standing in the middle of a forest clearing. A bit of a nebulous piece of advice, but that's the Taiga effect, I think. The only problem is, Toya's never been in a forest before. He wasn't allowed to go on any field trips as a kid since it would take away from his practice time, nor was he allowed to participate in school sports competitions or anything of the sort. Poor guy, he wasn't ever able to just be a kid. Okay everyone, let's hop on that Harumichi Aoyagi hate train. Anyway, Luca suggests just going to see a forest for themselves instead of trying to imagine what that serenity is like. It's a good idea, but is it realistic? I mean, Toya's doing all of this research on what forest would be a good fit for him to visit, but there's no way he'll be able to gauge how dangerous a place like, the wilderness could be. An and Akito are more than a bit worried about his safety. I was kinda assuming that they'd all go together, but I guess I assumed wrong. Because the next scene is of An and Akito pitching the idea of a group camping trip to Toya. Team bonding time! An has plenty of equipment and Akito knows a good spot not too far away, so it's perfect. Plus, if they all have the same experience, singing together as a unit will become way easier. But seriously, were they really going to let Toya go off into the woods all by himself? The four of them go to a camping supply store and get a few things, all standard stuff. Toya is really excited about everything though. He's like a little puppy, pointing out fun things like a cup that is also a bowl. That night, Toya is so excited that he can't sleep. It's honestly a little endearing to watch. Get this high schooler on a field trip. Okay, the first item on the itinerary after getting to the campground is to pitch the tents. Do you need me to go over how they pitch their tents? Great, I'll just skip over that then. Wow, it's really tent now! Oh no, the wind is picking up and they haven't put the stakes in. Whatever shall they do? Well, if your name is Aoyagi Toya, then you'll just trip over a rock and fall flat on your face in an attempt to catch the tent. It's fine though, the tent didn't go very far, and the boys help An and Kohane pitch their tent without issue. They also talk about assigning a leader to each task, so if the others have questions, they can go to the task leader. I have a feeling this will come up later, so I'm mentioning it now. Now I understand why Toya is so excited about cutting a bell pepper. It's his first time using a kitchen knife, or even cooking at all, really. He mentioned earlier that one of the big reasons as to why he wasn't allowed on field trips is the fact that he could injure his hands, and that would seriously impact his ability to play piano or violin. Not being able to use a knife either makes sense, but also this poor guy. If nothing else, I'm glad this little camping trip is allowing Toya to experience things he wasn't able to as a kid. Now that the tents are pitched and the dinner prep is sorted, VBS can go explore the surrounding forest. Akito does make sure to check that their GPS is working as well. Good job, Akito. All credit to Enna for telling him about the hiking trip she got lost on recently. Toya really likes the forest. I figured he would. It seems like the sort of thing Toya would enjoy. An gets a little overexcited about some edible plants called sunroot, and just as they get enough for the 4 of them, it suddenly starts to get really foggy. And would you look at that, the fog is causing the signal to go out, leaving the 4 of them stranded. Toya had the foresight to pack a physical map, thankfully, so they tried to use that to get their bearings. But now it's getting really dark. Dark enough for the stars to come out through the mist. That's when Toya gets the bright idea to climb a tree, for the first time, find the North Star, by using geometry, and use that to find their way back to camp. Because apparently, even though Toya's never chopped a vegetable before, he knows how to find the North Star using geometry. So that's good, but Toya may or may not be afraid of heights. It's okay, buddy, you'll be okay. Thanks to Toya's expert navigation, the group is able to make it back to their campsite with only minor scrapes. All of the Vocaloids join the squad for dinner, and it's all just happy fun times with Vivid Bad Squad. Toya asks everyone to sing their new song, and inexplicably, they're all more in sync with each other than ever before. It seems like this group bonding experience has more than paid off. And that brings us to the end of the event. I don't know about you all, but I was giggling so much when reading this one. Why did they let 4 high schoolers go off into the woods all by themselves? They need a trusted adult. I mean, I guess it turned out alright in the end, but still. VBS has felt a little disjointed for a few events now, so I'm glad they were able to take a step back and bond as a group. Even if this event isn't the most plot relevant of the bunch, it's still fine to have a chill experience where nothing overly insane happens. Unless you count Toya nearly falling out of a tree. Next up on the event list is Kohane's second focus, The Legend Still Vivid. I'll see you then.